What's up, everybody, and welcome to my first YouTube channel where we'll be reviewing mainly sci-fi, superhero, comic-related books, TV shows, and movies for the most part. Um, for the first episode here, we're going to be talking about Marvel's Fantastic Four First Steps. This is the first Fantastic Four movie where he's gotten in the MCU. If you've seen my channel earlier on my Instagram, I gave myself and everybody a spoiler-free review. So right now we're gonna get into everything about the movie, the spoilers, and just my overall thoughts on the movie and how I really feel about each scene and thing that went down in this movie. So with further ado, let's get straight into it. So first things first, I just want to say, first initial thoughts on the movie. I really thought the movie was great. In my opinion, I give it, a 10 out of 10. I love the interstellar vibes that this movie gave. I love the 60 aesthetic that this movie gave. Watching it again for the second time this weekend in IMAX, I've seen plenty of great things that happened with it in that aspect ratio. So I cannot wait to see what that experience brings. But overall, the movie, I thought it was really great. I like the fact that we get to see the characters already in their superhero and just day-to-day lives. This is not an origin story. They let you know that straight off the back, and I just love that so much. I love the fact that we got to see so many villains that fans of the team have always wanted to see in live action. There was a point in time where we did see Mr. Fantastic versing Red Ghost. For those who don't know, Red Ghost is a character that is a scientist as well, who adapted the powers of the Fantastic Four into monkeys. And so he went through their same origin stories, going into space, getting into that freakish accident like they did, and he just used that on apes as like a science experience, almost similar to how they say, we brought chimps to space to put the American flag on the Earth, or on the moon per se. So yeah, that's what his thing. We did see the monkey that he versed, and that was just great to see that. Another addition that was a great surprise to me was seeing Mole Man. Was not expecting to see that. I remember telling friends, if they go straight to the Mole Man thing, already this movie's gonna be a 10 out of 10 for me. And also them giving so much fan service and showing the first edition of Fantastic Four on live action. So they're versing that green monster that you've seen plenty of times. I have it on my wall there. I wish I could take it apart, but I can show you guys. But look up the first issue of the Fantastic Four, and you'll see that image on the cover. And they exactly depicted that for one. So seeing that in live action just made my heart so happy. As a fan of just comics, I'm not the biggest Fantastic Four fan, but they have been in my life since a child. So they do mean a lot to me, and seeing that did make me really happy. And then they go straight into their situation right now where Sue is pregnant. I thought this was a great addition as well, because if y'all know, Franklin Richards is a real one. So seeing him now introducing a fifth member to the team is amazing. Another thing I really liked about this movie is how this is just the 828 universe, so it's completely separated from Avengers and anything in the MCU that we've seen thus far. So seeing them now together doing what they do, I thought was really different, because we don't have to involve them in anything else that they do here. It's just strictly Fantastic Four. There's no other heroes, so these people are like gods to any regular human being. So seeing that now was really great to see. So I cannot wait to see where this goes forward, and how they do end up merging the twos together. Another great thing I loved about this movie was the Human Torch. I love the fact that they didn't make him the typical, hothead and ladies' man. Although he had all those elements in this movie, I love the fact that he was more smarter, and he had like brains, and the fact that he was an attribute to the team, and he wasn't just like the monkey of it all. Like, he wasn't just no dummy. He actually had a part in the team, and in any iteration of Johnny Storm, we only seen him in that light. So getting to see him more smarter, still being the ladies' man that he is, it just showed a lot of growth, and you get to see the fact that from the moment of when he first got his powers till now, they've battled many villains, went through so many situations politically, and now they're at a part where they're just like at the top of their careers, if you want to call it that, and there's just a maturity there that would make sense after you've seen and done so much. So getting that out of him was great. I also love The Thing. I'm a huge Ben Grimm fan, so seeing The Thing still going through his process of like wanting to be a little bit normal, and process the fact that he does not look the way he was when he from the beginning he went on the space trip, and still going through those emotions. I thought was really cool to see that on screen as well. Then they also introduced his love interest in this one, where I still have many questions about. Her name is Rachel. If you're a fan of the comics or know from past movies, he ends up dating a young lady by the name of Alicia Masters, and she is blind. So in that, they share two disabilities, and that's why they kind of make their love match and be complete like that, because she's dealing with being able to see, he's dealing with being a rock man and also being a part of the Fantastic Four. So they find love in that madness there. So getting this love interest set up early was also really great. Although in this movie they really aren't like dating per se, but you could just tell there is some type of love and tension there between them. So I love that they left that open-ended in the movie, and we will see where that goes in the future. Yeah, and then there's Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm, who are an inseparable couple. Reed Richards being the most smartest man in the world, and Marvel had made this very clear in a lot of the scenes in the movie. He's always in his lab working on the next thing, always thinking 10 cents ahead, and I just love that this, from what Marvel says, this is the man who we will get for the next couple of years, being the leader of the Avengers, of his own team, and just of the MCU in general. So getting this man established now and learning all his attributes was really, really great. And I can't wait to see where his future goes and Sue Storm's future goes as well. Some of my favorite moments on screen, I would have to say, was seeing Shia LaBeouf. I might be butchering her name wrong, but she did amazing. And I mean, and honestly, like, she is still a part of the universe. She is. They did it. It's not like as if in this movie they were making her the replacement for the Silver Surfer that we all know or have seen. It's very much so that the Silver Surfers are the servants to Galactus. So we just got the girl one in this one, but either way, it was a fresh thing to see on screen, and a lot of the way that she portrayed herself when she came down to Earth to warn them that Galactus was coming. I felt like she was very stern in what she said, and I did feel like the tension and the urgency of like, this lady means business. We need to make sure we figure out who she is, where she's coming from, and what this threat really is for the people of 828 and how we can save the day from the Fantastic Four's perspective. And I really liked her performance a lot. The scene where they go up into space and they meet Galactus in his I don't want to say his planet or whatever you want to call that, but when they go up to his ship, his base, and they speak to him to talk about ways on how we can like not you got eat my planet was like the best thing on screen. This is why I cannot wait to see this movie in IMAX, to experience that in its full 4.3 ratio, because the seeing it in the I saw it in laser AMC, which was the colors and everything like that were great, but I need to see that the wider aspect ratio and like more picture. I need more of that image because God, every time this is me going off on a tangent, but every time seeing Galactus out on screen was just like we really are here now. Like we really have a live action Galactus that is not some cloud, and they're just not like talking about him like as if they seen him and we don't know like who he is, but like we really got Galactus now. So being able to have a real Galactus on screen now was everything for me. And I thought they did his as far as like size comparison, pause on the Galactus. I thought they made him a perfect size, and a believable one that was still menacing and was still like a task even for the Fantastic Four to have to defeat. So yeah, seeing her. So back to Silver Surfer, seeing her and her scene where she's chasing the Fantastic Four. This scene was very it was my favorite of all because of just everything that's going on. So like the Silver Surfer chasing the Fantastic Four because they don't want to give up their child to Galactus in exchange for him not to eat their planet, and they did. They fight the Silver Surfer. Very cool action sequence. And now they're running back on their ship to try and teleport back to their Earth to get away from the Silver Surfer. The Silver Surfer, the way they showed her skill, her power skill level in this was just amazing. In two accounts in this movie. The first one being the scene that I'm talking about where they're going through a wormhole portal and she is following them through this portal. For anybody who hasn't seen the movie or is watching this and understands what I'm talking about, the thing I thought you can think about this is as if, Star Wars has hyperspace, and every time you go into hyperspace, you just basically like you teleport into a wormhole that is going faster than the speed of light, faster than the flash on your camera screen or on your phone, and she's just like the faster than a blink of an eye. Like however the fastest thing you could think about, she's faster than it. And so that's what this teleportation device does, because it's teleporting you to a whole other universe. And she is going through the wormhole of them teleporting. Meanwhile, Susan Storm, the Invisible Woman, giving birth to a child at the same time. And they are in a life or death situation while life is being recreated during this whole thing is happening. And that scene in general was just like so intense. I know I'm saying this a million times, but I just cannot wait to see that moment again on IMAX and just seeing that wider screen, brighter picture, the sound, everything. This movie is gonna have, I think, in my opinion, a great rewatch accountability, just because of the fact that they allow you to they allow the movie to go through seasons, and because you see them go through their life in different seasons, rewatching it is gonna be great for any time of the year. This movie mainly takes place when all the crazy stuff happens in the fall, which is my favorite season. So rewatching it in the fall when it eventually gets onto Disney Plus is going to be so much fun. So yeah, that scene happened. That was my favorite scene. And then after that, we get the Galactus battle for the most part. Oh, before that, they get back to their they go through the wormhole. She doesn't get to catch them, and they get back, and everybody on Earth is asking, "Oh, did you defeat Galactus?" And everybody says, "No, we didn't. We didn't do it." And so this is the first time they're ever getting a disappointed moment, and they don't know how to handle it. And so since now they are dealing with this, um, they tell them we didn't be able to handle it, and now they have to kind of like regroup and tell everybody like, you don't worry, you will be safe, and we'll get it done, because they're so used to everybody taking everything that the Fantastic Four does, um, taking care of them, and they're not having to worry about them because they win everything. They defeated the Red Ghost. They defeated the monster that came out of from Mole Man's shenanigans. They defeated. There's not a thing the Fantastic Four can't do and defeat. So this is their first L, and people are shocked by it. So getting that real moment added obviously a lot of intensity to the movie, and it made me on my knees, and I was locked in at this point, because I'm like, oh snap, like, what are you going to do? Because you didn't defeat the Galactus. You've seen who Galactus is. They don't know who Galactus is. This is the first time you're facing something to this magnitude. It's cosmic level stuff. You know, cosmic level stuff is crazy. We've all seen in Endgame, so we know what that's like. So they regroup, they figure out a way. Reed comes up with a scenario of, I'm just gonna transport them to another Earth. You know, like, who was Reed Richards to come up with something as crazy as that? Only he could think of something like that and mean it and stand on business when he's saying it too. So that was really great as well. Now we get to the part where they start talking and communicating with all these different countries around the world, and they are he makes a teleportation device that when Galactus comes, it will set off a trigger to basically teleport them to another Earth. But they gotta use his I think this is how it goes. They gotta use his energy from for triggering it to be able to go all around the Earth and send them to another universe. So they come down. And now this is where, this is also another great thing about Reed Richards. Before I get to this part, him to have the mindset to know a giant man's gonna come down to New York and probably destroy plenty of buildings, which means there's gonna be thousands of casualties on innocent people. What should we do to get this over with? And what does he think about doing? Actually, this was Sue Storm who goes on calling Mole Man. The man who has an entire empire underground and is in super like crazy about it, and they get him to team up with them and bring the people to his empire that he is so proud of and has been chanting about for years. They get him to come down and bring people of 828 down there, the people of 828 New York down on the ground. Genius idea from Reed Richards overall. I gotta tip my hat to that. Galactus comes down, and this is where everything goes crazy. They set up a plan to trick him into thinking that the baby is free for him to take. Galactus' first scene coming down onto Earth and seeing the Statue of Liberty right there, as if like that is like their protector that is going to battle them, him not realizing it. That's what I thought it was. And he just looks at it like what are you gonna do? When it's just a statue, dude, like, calm down. Relax, nobody wants to mess with you. He walks by it like nothing, and he makes his way into New York. They start setting him up into thinking that they're gonna fight. The Human Torch is throwing his fireballs at him. Thing is pushing him towards this trap or whatever. And how ironic is it that right before he gets to the baby, he stops and thinks about the trap that's right there, and decides to go all the way around where the trap isn't to get him. That's crazy. So long story short, they end up grabbing the baby. They throw him back into the Baxter building where he's safe with with Herbie at the Back Division. Who Herbie in this movie was another great point person to put in here. You know, we got all these action, we got sci-fi, we got this with that, and you know, we just need that one little cute thing that our people can just like grab onto. And so they put Herbie in this, and I thought he was a great attribute. There was scenes in the movie where, you know, he's kind of just like the maid for the butler for the Fantastic Four. So you see him like cooking with the thing and folding the clothes for the Fantastic Four, doing the laundry. He's baby proofing everything for when the baby arrives and stuff. So seeing him do that was was really great. So then we get our final end scene. He goes around and ends up grabbing the baby back at the back of the building, and instantly this Sue Storm is like mommy mode, engaged, and is like, you're not taking my kid. And the strength of her, that many people don't realize how strong she actually is. And I'll put a little scene right here of her actually doing this in comics, where she destroyed a Celestial who is a higher being than Galactus. That's actually like Galactus's like leader, and she puts a hole in through it, and through a Celestial. So in the movie though, before when she grows, when Galactus gets Franklin Richards, she has the power to push Galactus down single-handedly with her telekinesis force powers that she has, and push him down so far that she basically pushes him into the teleport wormhole that the trap was made for when he was originally supposed to grab the baby, and they trick him into going into the world. But she single-handedly does it by herself because her mom's strength just kicks in, and luckily the Silver Surfer was around, and she ends up helping her as well, by just giving that extra push to push them both into the wormhole. And seeing that happen was just like crazy, because I forget how strong Sue Storm is myself, and she ends up obviously going unconscious after that. But also, you know, the strength of the Silver Surfer just being like, you know what, I know this guy's an asshole, I'm just his servant, I don't want to do these things where he's eating planets like it's nothing, and it's just because he's hungry, and I'm gonna help you guys out. Because she obviously has a heart to some aspect, and her helping the Fantastic Four in that was a really cool like world bonding moment, and just character development as well. So seeing her do that was great. And so Sue Storm is knocked out on the floor. They think she's dead, and the baby is there, and he's crying out for his mom. And you know, if you know the things that Franklin Richards could do, and his cosmic level of powers is unbelievable. He in the comics, he declares himself as a mutant just because he's the only one that, well, he's born with powers, so that technically makes you a mutant. And his powers basically are like, he can create universes, anything like cosmetic, like he can bring people back to life. Like he is just like he is life. Like his cosmic level is unbelievable, the things he can do. If you could think about it, he can probably do it, to be honest. He could shape the timeline. Like he's very powerful. I recommend anybody who doesn't know too much on Franklin Richards to go check him out on the Marvel wiki page, or just a quick Google. It's a lot of good comics out there too that will tell you about his issues and stuff. The fact that he's a baby here, and they're developing him from a baby now, and what we'll soon get in Doomsday will be it's gonna be crazy. So stick around for the ride, because this is literally just the first steps. Wrap up my review here. It's like we get after that they defeat the Galactus and send him to another universe, and so we get the end credit scene where we get the reveal of Doctor Doom. And seeing Doom now in this universe. It's been reported that this Doom that was in there was indeed Robert Downey Jr. You just don't see his face at all. You just see him with the mask and Reed Richards touching him as if he knows like he is of importance. So I just can't wait to see what's gonna happen in Doomsday. I was be honest, I was a little like I wasn't disappointed, but it was just like a oh man moment where I really wanted to get that connection that we got from the end credit from the Thunderbolts of the ship going into the Excelsior ship of the Fantastic Four going into the world of where the Avengers are. And in this scene and in this movie we didn't get like a connection to that. So my thoughts are only to think that we are right before we get the end credit scene, the Fantastic Four get an alert that something's wrong, like they always do when there's crime in the city. My thoughts are that they got that alert and they went to another universe, and that's where that kind of like connects or whatever. And I think we'll probably see that in Doomsday, or we will see that in the next Fantastic Four movie. Who knows? Yeah, like these are my final thoughts. I really want to read more on Fantastic Four. I've been really, getting into my comics lately. Digital has been the way for me. I mean, I cop physically, but then I read digitally. So I can't wait to see more what's to come with the Fantastic Four and where their journey goes. The movie was 10 out of 10 for me. Can't wait for my rewatch. And yeah, that's my review on the movie. I hope everybody enjoyed what you watched today. Going forward, I'm gonna try and give more full reviews like this with my final thoughts and my favorite scenes going forward. You guys can write in the comment section below what was your favorite scene and the things that you enjoyed most about the movie, if you've seen it already, or if you're watching this just to find out what happens in the movie and if it's worth it. If you value my opinion at all, the only thing I can ask for is you leave a like at the end of this video or a comment just letting me know that you watched. Thank you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. July has been amazing. So many great movies have came out. I'm going to be doing a Superman review as well pretty soon, so just stay tuned. I watched that one twice, but that one is one that I got to really think about because it was good, but this things I gotta talk about. So overall, thank you guys. This video has been way too long already. See you guys on the next one. Follow me on all my socials. That's Instagram, Facebook sometimes, but Instagram and Threads is where I'm full throttle on this stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.